Hey everybody, this is Daniel from fitnessblender.com, and today we're going to be going through another workout. This one is going to be an active and passive routine. Now how we do this is we have a group of an active exercise and the passive version of that exercise. So basically one that actually requires movement and the other one is going to be a static hold, but they are relatively the same position. So how we're going to do this is we have a 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off for each one of those. So we're going to be doing 2 times for each set. So 20 seconds for the active version, 20 seconds for the passive version, and one more time for each. And then we move to the next group of 2. We've got 10 total to go through, so let's go ahead and get started. All right, so this entire routine, you're not going to need any equipment whatsoever, except for you might need, or you're going to need a chair or a coffee table. I'm going to be using a plyo box, but a chair or coffee table will be perfectly fine. Otherwise, every single other exercise is not going to need any equipment whatsoever. So, we have not done a warm-up yet, and we won't be including one in this routine, so if you haven't done it, go ahead and hit pause and do your warm-up first, and then come back and start into it. For everyone else who's already warmed up, let's go ahead and get started. So, our first exercise is going to be just a traditional push-up. So go ahead and drop down on the ground, arms out nice and wide, 20 seconds. Try to go straight through without stopping. If you need to, drop down onto those knees. Just keep those lungs open, nice flat back. And let it relax. You got a 10-second break until we do the static hold, which is just going to be a regular plank. So you either do this off your elbows or a full extension on those arms. And drop it out. Come up to that plank and hold it. Just keep those lungs open. Again, nice flat back. Keep those hips nice and low. Straight line from shoulder to ankle. And another 10-second break. We've got our second and last round of our push-ups coming up next. So back out in that push-up position and start it. Keep those lungs open, breathe normally. A little over halfway done. And let it relax. Got one more of the static position of this one, so back to that plank one more time. Out onto those elbows or on that full extension with those arms, and hold it. This is our last one of this round, so we're moving on to our next group for the next one. Our next group is going to be a single leg squat. We're doing 1 round on the left, 1 round on the right, and then a static squat on the bottom. And let it relax. Go ahead and stand up. We've got our single leg squats coming up next. So pick whichever leg you want to start out with. All your weight on that leg, other leg up. Squat down as low as is comfortable, right back up. If you can't quite do a single leg squat, that's fine. Just do a traditional squat with both feet. And let that relax. Shake those legs out a little bit. We're doing a static squat, so both feet. Flat back, drop it down as low as is comfortable, and hold it. Just get comfortable. Go to that happy place. Almost done. And let it relax. Shake those legs out for a second. We're going to be starting over on that other leg. So last set of these single leg squats on that other leg. And start it. Try to keep that weight evenly dispersed between that heel and that toe. And let that relax again. Shake those legs out. Got one more of the static squat. And drop and hold. All right, this is our last static one for this group. So our next group is going to be a supine push-up. So that's laying flat on your back, Pushing into those elbows, and we're gonna do that same exercise, but at a hold. So trying to hold yourself hovering just a little bit off the ground. And let it relax, shake those legs out. Supine push-up is next. So laying flat on your back, elbows out nice and wide, and press it up, and back down. So really push into those elbows nice and hard. Try to keep that lower back up off the ground. Easier version is keeping those feet on the ground, out away from you just a little bit. And let it relax. 10-second break, and then we're gonna bring up into the highest point you can for that supine push-up, and hold it. And press it up. Hold. This is gonna burn by the time you're done. Go to that happy place. Those elbows are gonna kind of slowly try to squeeze in towards your sides, so try to constantly keep them pushed out really nice and wide. And let it relax. You got one more round of the traditional supine push-up, so squeezing a range of motion. And start it. Press up and back down. Try to keep a little bit of a hover. Don't completely release each time. Get those elbows out nice and wide. Ooh, let it relax. One more round of the static. And press it up. Hold it. Keep those elbows up nice and wide. We're moving on to an alternating lunge next. And let it relax. Go and stand up. Like I said, alternating lunge is next. And start them up. Just step out, back up. Same thing over on the other side. When we get to the static portion of this, we're going to do it with the left leg forward first. Then the next round is going to be right leg forward. Nice long step. That knee down nice and low. All right, so static squat or static lunge is coming up next. Left leg forward. And drop and hold. Torso straight up and down. Weight evenly dispersed between your front and your rear leg. Don't touch your legs. No pressing on that thigh to help you out or cheat. Just hold it nice and low. And let it relax. All right, back to the alternating lunge. And start up. Nice long step. The longer the step you take, the harder it's going to be. Try to get a nice full range of motion, dropping that knee down, barely touching the ground, and back up. And let it relax. Same thing, static lunge, this time right leg forward. And drop. Nice and low and hold. Again, weight evenly dispersed between your front and your rear leg, torso perfectly straight up and down. And go and stand up, grab that chair if you have it handy. Like I said, I'm going to be using a plyo box. Doing tricep dips. Hang those hips off. Drop down and back up. If you bring your feet in nice and close, it's easier. If you extend your feet out, it'll be harder. Keep those elbows pinched together behind you. Don't let them kick out sideways. And let it relax. We're doing a static hold. So drop down to that 90-degree angle on that elbow and hold it there. And drop. Right there. Try to keep that torso straight. Try not to let your shoulders roll forward. Whew, this burns. Keep those elbows pinched together. Oh, and let it relax. Shake those arms out. We got another of the active. So full range of motion. And start it. Elbows pinched together. Nice full range of motion. Almost done. All right, this last round of static hold is gonna hurt. Push through as best you can. You can always bring those feet in to make it easier. All right, drop it out. Try to get this close to a 90-degree angle on the elbow as you can. It's halfway. Keep pushing it. Oh, and let it relax. Whew. All right, that is halfway through this routine. We're gonna take a little pause. Go grab a drink of water if you want one. We'll be right back. All right, let's go ahead and get started with the second half of this routine. We're going to be starting off nice and easy with just a regular calf raise. We're doing left leg only and then right leg only. So trying to get it as nice and tight as possible. So if you have something to lean up against for balance, by all means use it. Otherwise, you can try to just balance on your own. Just barely coming up onto that toe as high as you possibly can, but just barely letting it down, keeping a little tiny bit of a gap underneath that heel. So don't let it completely touch down. So squeeze it up. Back down, nice tight squeeze the top every single time. And let it relax. Probably didn't get a whole lot of a burn off of that first round, but the static hold is where you're definitely going to feel it. So same exact motion, but coming up onto that toe and holding. Then press it up and hold. Try to keep up on the highest part of the ball of that foot as you possibly can. Try to really bring that heel up. Just hold it nice and steady. Breathe normally. Hold it a little bit longer and let it relax. All right, go ahead and let that one relax. We do the same thing on the other side. So switch sides. Doing a full range of motion first. Press it up. Nice and slow down. A little tiny bit of a gap and then right back up again. Tight squeeze the top of that range of motion. Make that muscle work as hard as you possibly can. And let it relax for a second. We got one more round of those for the static on this leg. And press up and hold. So once we're done with this static portion, we're going to move to a downward dog press. So kind of in a triangle position down towards the ground. We'll be doing that in just a second. We got to finish this up first. So keep that heel up really nice and high. Tight squeeze in that calf. And let it relax. All right, downward dog is going to be feet just about shoulder width apart, hands just about shoulder width apart. Trying to keep those hips really nice and high in the air. You're pressing down towards the ground, right back up. So basically just hinging from those toes. Trying to keep your body in line with those arms as kind of a shoulder press or a half military press. Let it relax for just a second, and then you're just going to do a regular downward dog hold. And up. Just a full downward dog. Try to keep those heels down towards the ground as best you can. Now those calves are probably a little bit tight already from that last exercise. Just breathe normally. And let it relax. Got one more round of the active and one more round of the static. And back up. Press it down, right back up.
Keep those legs relatively straight, as straight as is comfortable for those hamstrings and calves. And let it relax for just a second. Got one more round of that static hold. And start it up. Press that chest down nice and low. Try to get a nice straight line through your back into those arms. At the same time, pressing those heels down towards the ground with a straight leg. And let it relax. You're rolling over onto your back. We're doing a toe touch crunch next. So laying flat on your back, legs straight above those hips, and start up. Crunch up nice and high, slowly back down. Try to keep those shoulder blades hovering just a little bit so you never ever let those abdominal muscles completely release. And let it relax. Next one is going to be a toe touch hold. So arms or legs up in the air, crunching it up as high as you can towards those feet, and hold it. Up, and freeze it up there, nice and high. Keep those lungs open. And let it relax. You got one more active, one more static. Legs up, and crunch it. Full range of motion on this one. And let it relax. Got one more hold. Legs up. And crunch up and freeze. Try to get as close to those toes as you can. Legs nice and straight. Just hold it there. Keep those lungs open, breathing normally. And let it relax. All right, roll over onto your left side. Knees bent, legs tucked back behind you. We're doing a side hip raise, so bring those hips up, down, a little bit of a hover, don't let it completely relax, and right back up. Just keep it going. And let it relax. We're going to do the hold on the same exact side, so just basically a side plank. So we're actually going to kick our legs out completely straight for this one. So stack those feet and press it up. If this starts getting too hard, you can always bend those knees back. That same position we just did those hip raises for. Halfway through this. Just keep those lungs open. And let it relax. Go ahead and switch over to the other side. Same exact thing, starting off those knees bent for full range of motion. Bring those hips up, slowly back down, a little bit of a hover, and right back up. Almost done. And let it relax. All right, our last static hold. We got one more exercise after this, which is going to be a back bow. And bring those hips up. Sorry, full extension on those legs. And hold it. Like I said, we've got a back bow coming up next, so you're going to be face down on that mat, legs and arms coming up at the same time. Get those hips up nice and high, straight line through that body. Try not to let those hips sag. And let it relax. We're going to flip over onto our stomach for this back bow. Arms and legs out to a full extension. And lift it up. Nice and slow back down, a little bit of hover, right back up again. Keep those lungs open, nice full range of motion. And let it relax. Our next one is going to be a static hold for that back bow. So same exact thing, just bring up that highest range of motion and holding it. And start up. Freeze it at that top of that range of motion. You're definitely going to feel this in that lower back, a little bit into those glutes as well. Just try to hold it as long as you can. A little over halfway. And let it relax. All right, one more active, one more passive, and then we're done with this routine. Ready for that full range of motion? Start up. Keep those hands and feet hovering. But try to get that full range of motion as high as you can, then down to hovering off the ground. And let it relax. Real quick break, then our last static hold. Bring it up and freeze. Keep those lungs open. Try to keep those arms out nice and straight. They're going to try to slowly creep in towards you to make it easier. And let it relax. All right, that's the end of this routine. If this is the end of your workout for the day, make sure you go and do a cool down real quick. Otherwise, this workout is complete. Good job, guys. See you next time.